Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you've ever spent hours decluttering only to look around and still feel like your home is somehow off, this video is for you. I know that feeling too well. You clear surfaces, fill donation bags, even get rid of the obvious junk, and yet something doesn't shift. The house might look better, but your chest still feels tight when you walk into the room. That's not a mess. That's a kind of quiet weight we stop noticing because we're too used to carrying it. In this video, I want to walk you through 10 types of clutter that most of us don't even realize we're keeping. Things that don't just take up space, but take up energy, mental space, emotional space. The kind that makes your home feel heavier than it should. And I'm not coming to you as a minimalist expert. I'm a working woman, a tired mom, a person who used to declutter all the time and still wonder why I felt stuck in my own house. But slowly I started to see patterns. I noticed what I was avoiding. And when I started letting go of the right things, not just the obvious ones, the whole house changed, quietly, gently. And the first type of clutter, it's probably sitting in your drawers right now. You don't even know what it's for. Let's talk about that. Let's start with type 1. You know that drawer. Everyone has one. The one filled with mystery cords, lone keys, random screws, charger, blocks from devices long gone, but still somehow you hesitate to throw them out. You don't know what half of it belongs to. But there's this little voice that says, what if I need it someday? So it sits there, month after month, year after year, growing into this quiet pile of just in case. Let's be honest, if you needed that cord, you would have looked for it by now. You would have remembered it existed. And if you didn't even know it was in that drawer, that's your sign. Here's a small shift that helped me. Instead of asking, could I possibly need this, I ask, would I even remember I had this if I ever needed it? If the answer is no, I let it go. Simple as that. Try this, set a timer for 10 minutes. Open that drawer. Toss anything you can't name, don't recognize, or haven't touched in a year. Don't overthink. These aren't heirlooms. They're orphans. And when you clear that space, you'll be surprised how much easier it is to find the scissors, the tape, or just your patience. Because clutter isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a drawer that sighs every time you open it. And speaking of those quiet spaces that weigh us down, in tomorrow's video, I'll show you how I use something free, fast, and honestly kind of genius to declutter my entire house in a totally different way. If you've ever felt stuck midway through a cleanout, that's the one you'll want on your list. Next up is type 2, and this one hides inside your phone. Now on to type 2. And this one hides inside your phone. Your home might look tidy, but does your brain still feel messy? Like there's this buzzing undercurrent you can't quite turn off. That's often digital clutter, and it's sneaky. It doesn't pile up on the floor. It piles up in your camera roll in unread notifications, in 42 tabs, open on your browser you might get back to. And it's not just about space, it's about your attention being chipped away. One useless photo or forgotten app at a time. Here's one small shift that makes a big impact. Delete 100 photos today. Just pick a date and scroll back. Screenshots of recipes you never made, blurry kid pics, 7 versions of the same selfie, clear them. You're not erasing memories, you're reclaiming clarity. Or go to your home screen, uninstall 3 apps you haven't opened in a month. You'll be surprised how much mental friction lifts when your phone feels calmer. Why does this matter? Because your digital space follows you everywhere. You carry it from room to room, bed to couch. And the mental clutter that lives there, it bleeds into your real space and your mood. And speaking of things that feel small, but quietly wear us down, type 3 is about the good stuff, the things that should make life easier, but secretly drive you nuts. Next is type 3. The things you should like but don't, we all have them. The mug that's beautiful but too wide to fit the coffee maker. The throw blanket that looks great but feels scratchy. That cutting board that always slides around when you're slicing vegetables. Nothing technically wrong, but every use feels like a mini argument. And still, we keep them because they were a gift, because they cost money, because they're perfectly good. But here's the truth. No one says out loud, just because something works doesn't mean it works for you. A simple change that helped me, I started replacing. It's still good with, does it make my life easier or harder? That became my new filter. Try this walk around one room, just one, and notice what quietly annoys you. Don't touch anything yet, just notice. That dish rack that never drains properly, that lamp that flickers when you adjust it. Those are the small frictions that build up and steal energy you didn't realize you were spending. Letting go of things that annoy you, even if they're still usable, isn't wasteful. It's respectful. Respectful of your time, your mood, your mental space. And speaking of space, Type 4 is all about what takes up room, not on your shelf, but in your self-image. Let's talk about the items you meant to use, but never quite did. Moving on to Type 4. The guilt hiding in your bathroom drawer. That serum you swore you'd use every night. The expensive cleanser that dried out your skin. The fancy perfume that gives you a headache but came in a pretty box. These things don't sit out in the open, but they weigh on you just the same. They whisper little lies. You should have used me. You wasted money. Maybe you'll become the kind of person who needs me someday. Sound familiar? Here's a reframe that helped me. If something made it into your routine, you'd already be using it. If it hasn't, after weeks or months, it's just taking up space and making you feel bad. Instead of staring at it daily and feeling wasteful, give yourself permission to release it. Pass it to someone who might love it. Or toss it, yes, even if it was pricey. The price has already been paid. Keeping it doesn't earn the money back. It just extends the guilt. One small step. Pick 3 items from your bathroom shelf or vanity that you haven't touched in the last 2 months. Line them up. Be honest. Do you actually want them, or just feel bad about them? Letting go of unused self-care isn't selfish. It's a declaration I deserve. Routines that feel like me, not like shame. And speaking of things we keep out of hope, not honesty. Type 5 is about the objects we meant to use, but deep down we know we never will. Let's look at Type 5. The items full of good intentions but zero follow-through. You bought the yoga mat because you were going to start stretching in the mornings. The language book because you dreamed of that Italy trip. The juicer because this was finally the year you'd eat clean. But now they're collecting dust. And every time you see them, you feel that little sting like a silent reminder that you're not doing enough. These aren't just unused objects. They're hoping you've been dragging around quietly, turning into pressure. So here's the question I had to ask myself. Do I still want to become that version of me? Not should I? Not would it be good for me? But do I honestly want that now in this season of life? If the answer is no, it's okay to let it go. You're not giving up. You're just making room for the version of you that actually exists today. Try this. Find one item in your home that feels like a maybe someday and place it in a visible spot for a week. If you still don't touch it, don't reach for it, don't even think about it, that's your sign. Letting go of aspirational clutter doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're done punishing yourself for not becoming someone you no longer want to be. And now that we've talked about the things we wanted to use, let's talk about the things we used to use and why they might be quietly holding us back. That's up next in Type 6. Next up is Type 6, the objects that once fit you but maybe don't anymore. These are the pieces that hold old versions of you. The heels from your corporate days, even though you work from home now. The team bride hoodie from your best friend's wedding 5 years ago. The giant tote bag from your conference years now just collecting dust behind the coat rack. They're not bad things. In fact, they once made you feel proud, capable, and seen. That's why they're hard to let go of. But when you hold on to something only because it reminds you of who you used to be, your space starts serving your past more than your present. Here's a question that changed how I saw it. If I saw this in a store today, would I buy it for the life I'm living now? If the answer is no, I take a breath and I let it go. With respect, with gratitude, but without guilt. Try this. Pick one item in your closet or drawer that feels like the old me. Just one. Hold it. Picture your actual routine this week. Errands, work, school runs, dinner. Does that item belong in that version of your life, or are you keeping it for a storyline that's already closed? You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to outgrow things, people, patterns, and yes, even parts of yourself. Keeping something doesn't mean you're keeping who you were. Letting go doesn't erase the past. It just makes room for who you're becoming. And speaking of emotional weight, Type 7 is all about the clutter that doesn't just make you feel stuck, it quietly makes you feel bad. Let's talk about that next. So now we're talking about Type 7, the clutter that looks innocent but hits a nerve. Some items don't just take up space, they trigger something in you. The home workout gear you haven't touched in 6 months, the baby onesies packed away just in case, but that now makes you ache. The gift from someone who hurt you, but you've kept it because... What guilt habit? This is the kind of clutter no one warns you about, the kind that doesn't just crowd your room, it clutters your emotions. Here's the shift that helped me breathe again. If something in your home makes you feel shame, resentment, or regret every time you see it, it's not just stuff. It's a wound that hasn't been allowed to close. You don't need to justify letting it go. You're allowed to protect your peace. Try this, walk into the room that feels the heaviest. Don't tidy, just stand still and scan. Which item makes you tense, your jaw sigh, or look away? You don't even need to toss it yet. Just admit what it's doing to you. That alone is powerful. Sometimes the most transformative decluttering isn't about what we throw out, it's about what we stop tolerating in our space. And now that we've talked about the clutter that hurts, let's move into something more practical: duplicates. Because even the most harmless stuff can quietly pile up and slow you down. That's Type 8. Up next is Type 8, the clutter that hides in plain sight duplicates. You probably don't notice it at first. After all, having a few backups seems harmless, even practical. But here's the thing, too much of the same thing can quietly slow you down. You've got 5 blacktops but only ever reach for the one that fits just right. 3 can openers, yet only one actually works smoothly. 12 tote bags, but you only grab 2 on rotation. And every extra. It makes you pause, compare, dig, hesitate, all tiny decisions that add up to mental load. Here's a gentle fix. Choose your favorite, the one you actually use. Then ask yourself, if this one broke today, would I happily use one of the others? If not, they're not backups. They're clutter. Try this quick trick. Pick one category, just one. Mugs, jeans, lip balms, cooking spoons, doesn't matter. Pull them all out where you can see them. Which one do you love, use, and reach for without thinking? Keep that. Let the rest serve someone else. Remember, decluttering duplicates isn't about becoming minimalist. It's about not making 5 tiny decisions when one would have done the job. And since we're talking about the things we keep just in case, let's head into Type 9. The items you're saying for a situation that never actually comes. Next, let's unpack Type 9. The items you're holding onto just in case. They're not broken, they're not even sentimental, but they sit there year after year taking up your drawer space and mental space. That extra HDMI cable in case the other one breaks. The tiny screws in a Ziploc bag, I think they came with that shelf, the backup phone charger from a phone you no longer own. We keep these things with the best intentions. We want to be prepared. We want to be resourceful. But here's the honest truth: when that just-in-case moment actually arrives, most of us either can't find the item or forget we had it in the first place. And even if we do remember, the cost of replacing it is often less than the energy spent storing and organizing it for years. Try this. Set a boundary box, literally one small box. It's your just-in-case zone. Anything beyond that has to earn its cease or go. And if you're still hesitating, ask, would I spend money to store this item? Because in a way, you already are with your time, your space, your clarity. Decluttering these maybe someday items doesn't make you unprepared. It makes you intentional. And now we're heading into something a little more sentimental. Because type 10 is all about the clutter that carries memories and why you don't need to keep it all to hold on to what matters. Alright, let's dive into type 10, the guilt clutter, the stuff you didn't buy but somehow can't let go, a coffee mug from a coworker you barely talk to, that oversized scarf from a relative who meant well but doesn't know your style, a decorative plate that's not your taste but it came from a close friend, so you feel bad. Here's the thing, gifts are meant to be expressions of love, not lifelong obligations. The moment someone gives you a gift, it becomes yours, and you get to decide what to do with it. You're not rejecting the person by passing on the item, you're simply choosing peace over pressure. Try reframing it this way. The purpose of a gift is already fulfilled the moment it made you smile or feel remembered. Keeping it in a cabinet for the next decade won't deepen that moment. It'll only clutter your space and quietly annoy you every time you see it. If you need to take a photo of the gift before letting it go, honor the intention. Then free up the shelf, the drawer, the mental space. Because your home is not a storage unit for other people's choices. It's your sanctuary. And speaking of choices in the next part, we're going to explore the things we hold on to, not because we love them, but because they're tangled up in who we used to be. That one's personal. Let's go there next. Now, if you've ever stared at an item and thought, I might need it, or maybe not, this is your decluttering cheat sheet. When decisions feel cloudy, don't overthink. Just ask yourself these 4 simple questions and let your answers lead the way. Do I actually like this item? Not did I like it once, or do I feel guilty not liking it? Just right now, does it bring me joy, comfort, or ease? If it disappeared tomorrow, would I go buy it again? This one reveals how much value it really has for you. If the answer is no, you already have your answer. Is this for the person I am now, or someone I used to be, or hope to become? Because if it's not supporting your current season of life, it might be holding you back from fully living in it. Would I even notice if it were gone? That drawer full of things you haven't touched in a year, chances are you wouldn't miss half of it. Here's how to make this real. Don't wait for a full decluttering day. Pick one object a day. Ask the questions, decide, and let one thing go. You'll be shocked how quickly your home and your mind starts to feel lighter. And now it's time for one last clutter category, one that sneaks in when you're not looking, and multiplies faster than you expect. Let's wrap this up with the next thing. And finally, let's talk about your mindset. You don't have to be a minimalist. You don't have to own only 30 things. And you definitely don't need a picture-perfect Pinterest-approved home. What you do need is a space that supports you. The version of you that wakes up today, not the one from 5 years ago, not the one you're trying to impress, and not the one who feels guilty for letting go. Sometimes the most powerful kind of decluttering isn't clearing the shelf. It's clearing the pressure to be someone you're not anymore. Let yourself keep what you use, what you love, what makes your life easier, or your heart softer, everything else. You have permission to release it. You're not behind. You're just unburdening. One item, one thought, one layer at a time. If one small corner of your home feels a bit calmer after this video, that's enough. That's real progress. Those are the kinds of things that quietly build up in the background. Not loud, not obvious, but slowly making your home feel heavier than it needs to be. And the truth is, you don't need to fix everything. Just start by clearing the things that no longer serve the version of you today. If even one small corner of your home feels clearer after this, that's enough. You're already doing it. And tomorrow, if you're ready to finally take this energy and apply it to your whole home, not just one shelf at a time, but the whole space, I'll show you exactly how I did it. It's simpler than you think, and honestly, it changed everything for me. Don't miss it. If this video helped bring you even a little peace, feel free to like or subscribe. Subscribe just so I know what truly supports you.